Alright, let's work on the first grade dragon.
Dupixent is the first treatment of its kind that continuously treats moderate to severe eczema or atopic dermatitis, even between flare-ups. Dupixent is a biologic and not a cream or steroid.
So I usually paint from the outside and go in, because the outside is where the lines are. So it's a whole lot easier to get the other stuff done first and then come in versus going out. But once I get the outline, I paint toward the line.
If you take asthma medicines, don't change or stop them without talking to your doctor.
Just clarify again, I am not a painter.
If your financial situation has changed, we may
not really. I can draw a little bit. No, a little bit. Not a whole damn lot, but a little bit.
On the same day, Al Roker is watching it all. Al, what's the latest tonight?
Well, Lester, we already have Tropical Storm Laura out there, 40 miles east of Antigua. Tropical Depression 14, 255 miles south of Cozumel. They will be churning through the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Haiti, all under the gun from Laura. By Tuesday afternoon, we're talking about maybe having 2 Category 1 storms out in the Gulf, and then by Wednesday, 2 landfalls 375 miles apart from each other.
Also, because I'm not a painter, I can probably say this proficiently. You should probably just paint in one damn direction. I haven't mastered that craft. So I just paint in every damn direction. I just fill everything in. So don't use my painting as an example ever. No, at all, forever.
For millions of parents, it is the decision, the only thing they're thinking about.
And sometimes the way the drawing is drawn, you kind of don't have a choice but to paint in every direction. Like for this dragon, and where it's placed on the paper, it is highly limited to how you paint.
So which way are you leaning right now?
So you kind of gotta figure it out. Again, it also helps to actually have some painting skills, which I strongly lack. As I like to tell people, I'm a much better martial artist than I will ever be as a painter.
Asking everybody that I knew, what would you do? What would you do? What should I do? I wanted somebody to do the answer for me.
That will be proven when this is done, and hopefully my crush will see the same, will like it, even though I'm pretty sure she'll never see it. But I don't know, you never know. The Lord works in mysterious ways, and I want her actually to be my wife, not my crush. So for you 100 and some odd people here watching, how about doing some praying for me, eh? Pray that my prayers come true. And she is awesomely beautiful.
There is a lot of anxiety regarding expectations and whether their child will succeed or fail. If their child doesn't do well, then somehow they have failed.
You're telling parents not to second guess themselves.
Yes, they cannot second guess themselves because there's no definitive answer.
And just keeping her focus.
Parents helping each other find the best answer, even in the worst of circumstances. Kate Snow, NBC.
Again, because I'm not a painter, I don't really know how to paint correctly. A regular painter can probably tell you, a person who makes their living painting. Me, on the other hand, I can draw. I can't make a living drawing because someone actually has to give you an opportunity to do that, and Marvel turned me down many, many years ago when I was younger, and so I focused on martial arts. So martial arts, way better at it than painting, for sure. When you see this damn thing, you'll understand exactly what I mean. I am a way better martial artist than I am a painter. But again, everybody formulates their own opinion.
Welcome to the American Legion Texas Boys State. It's a chance to be who you've always been. Your better self.
I think he's a fantastic politician. it as a compliment either.
That's politics. You played it when?
Florida State, rated PG-13.
I am totally blind, and non-24 can throw my days and nights out of sync.
And the one thing about life, you know, if you're not given an opportunity,
Talk to your
you
doctor
will never
at
know
844
how far you can go
214
without being given an opportunity to show.
Of non-drowsy Claritin.
And that's been my problem for the last 20
Symptoms
years.
caused by over 200 indoor and outdoor
I've
allergens.
never been given an opportunity, so I've been trying to make my
And
own,
for kids, try children's
which is
Claritin.
why I'm always
Only
telling you
brand
guys
provides
here on
24-hour
YouTube, you know,
non-drowsy allergy relief.
help a brother out. Feel free to share, feel free to like it. You just never know who's it's gonna come across, you know.
It's Sunday. Sunday sing-along. And he helped us get a home and auto bundle. He's been our insurance guy for 5 years now.
He makes us feel like we're worth protecting. Why didn't you tell us about these savings, Flo?
I've literally told you 1,000 times.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes
I would honestly be happy just being able to make commercials. You know, so even if my acting career doesn't go the way I want it, as long as I'm acting, then I would be happy. Which is all I really want, is just to be happy. No. I would have became a wrestler if it wasn't for the fact that I'm only 5'3". And it's wrestling is one of those acts for like men, you know, if you're like under 5'6" and you have no gimmick, you're pretty much not going to be a wrestler. And now with my physical health in danger mortally because of needing another hip replacement, I would be more of a liability than anything. And you know, again, being that I'm only 5'3.5", no one's ever really given me the opportunity needed to even attempt to be successful at that business. But believe me, if I could wake up tomorrow and the WWE was like, hey, how would you like to be a wrestler? And I didn't have this hip issue. Oh God, yes. I'd take the job. You know, in a freaking heartbeat. Alright, so mouth details are an issue there. Don't want it too
Back with an urgent warning from the CDC about the need to protect your
Alright.
family against the flu. during
So
this
first and foremost, no matter how much of painting you do, you want to get the sharp details out the way first. So like with this mouth on this second dragon, it's totally shaped differently. So I have to work a little bit harder on where I place the paint and how not to like screw up the lines. So you know, you kind of want to make sure you have everything where it is.
Adult doses of flu vaccine and another 2 million pediatric doses. Adding, it is particularly important to get the vaccine.
So you know, both of these dragons only have one eye amongst them.
Vaccination and have been especially hard hit by COVID-19.
People should get the flu
So
vaccine.
you have to
the latest by Halloween. You want to start getting in
really gotta
December,
plan
so
out your
right when the flu
hand
season hits here.
at where you're
Massachusetts is now
placing
making
the
flu
paint.
vaccine mandatory for all
Now the
school
big
children.
brush will
In
never
past
touch
3
the
flu
head
seasons, less than half
or the
of US
eyes
adults
if I can
received the
help
flu
it,
vaccine, with up to
so that I don't
61,000 people
like
dying
totally
per
screw the
year.
damn thing up.
Tonight, an urgent warning: the flu shot is vital protection in this pandemic. Kristen Dahlgren, NBC News.
Up next, I talked to the teen who inspired millions just by being himself.
Here's to the guru.
That's the thing about painting. You kind of gotta plan it like almost perfect. And sadly, there's no such thing. Alright, so also this gray dragon over here has purple ear, while that dragon over there has a pink ear. So I'm not going to touch the ear because I have decided that I'm going to try to give them a green ear. Both dragons are going to have a green ear. Initially I was going to make the dragons purple and pink, but I don't have purple paint and I don't have pink paint. I made an attempt at pink paint, so there's not enough of it to go around, so the dragon's wings are going to be yellow, but their base is going to be pink. But the rest of the dragons are going to be gray, because again, Gray and yellow are two of my favorite colors. Got a tiny bit of gray on this goddamn horn. I'm gonna be able to fix that because I am not a
As a caricature
painter.
artist, I appreciate what makes each person unique.
Earlier I questioned how I painted those purple and things, and it was watercolor paint versus the paint that I'm using now. So now that I know how I did that, I also don't think I have watercolor
What do you
paint.
think?
Or I have it, but I don't know where the hell it is. If I find it, I can touch up the dragon. But for the most part, you know, kinda gotta be careful around the neck of the dragon. So each line that I cover, you know, kinda gotta
Mornings were made for better
paint it
things than
down and
rheumatoid
away
arthritis.
from the line
When considering another treatment,
versus
ask about Xeljanz, a pill for
just going
adults
right
with
at it.
moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis, when methotrexate
So,
has
you
not
know,
helped
depending
at all.
on the brush
Xeljanz
and
can
how
reduce pain,
easy it
swelling,
smears,
and further joint damage, even without methotrexate.
it's a whole different ball game.
Xeljanz can lower your ability
And no,
to fight
I'm not that
infections.
painter
Before
Bob,
enduring
whatever the
treatment,
hell his
your
name
doctor
is with
should
the
check for
afro.
infections like TB and do blood tests. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis
No.
B or C, have flu-like symptoms,
Now
or
the
have
big
chronic
brush will come back
infections.
up on this side, but it won't touch the head. So now I'm going to go down the wall and get the arms and the legs and the tail, and then I'm going to finish painting the dragon with the big brush. So this is why I said you kind of got to find your niche when it comes to painting on how you're going to paint.
For RA more than 7 years ago. Xeljanz.
This year's election is different.
Some polling places are closed. Some are
So they may have pink bellies, but they're going to have yellow wings
Voting booths.
and
This
green
year,
ears.
how you vote is just as important as who you vote for.
So let's get planning.
Next week, it's another unconventional convention. President Trump accepts his party's renomination as the Republicans make the case for a second term. Join Lester Holt, Savannah Guthrie, Chuck Todd, and Andrea Mitchell for complete coverage starting Monday at 10 p.m.
Yeah, I won't be watching that. I will be watching Raw.
Speeches last night. The words of a 13-year-old boy are what many are still talking about. He spoke of his struggle with stuttering and finding a kindred spirit in Joe Biden, who has also dealt with stuttering his entire life. I spoke to Braden Harrington and his dad today.
And without Joe Biden...
His bedroom turned into a national stage. Braden Harrington talked about first meeting Joe Biden earlier this year.
He told me that we were members of the same club. We... stutter.
Last night, the New Hampshire teen opened himself and opened all of our eyes to a challenge faced by millions of Americans.
I'm just a regular kid, and in a short amount of time, Joe Biden made me more confident about something that's bothered me my whole life.
Can you help us understand what's it like to be a kid who stutters?
Sometimes people think that it's a funny thing to mock me, and it's just, I know I can power through it.
He summoned plenty of courage for his DNC moment, showing reading tools he says Biden shared with him. But it was hard.
Sometimes it's hard to breathe, like my lungs tight in, and sometimes I can't, get that extra breath.
His message, not just on behalf of a candidate, but also kids like himself.
I've heard a bunch of comments on Twitter, and that just made me feel really nice about how I made that address and how that's impacted a bunch of children's lives.
His dad swelling with pride.
Braden has never let stuttering get in his way of living life. Has always made it a point to talk to who he wants to and say what's on his mind.
Braden says he thinks he wants to become a therapist someday. But at 13, it looks like he has already found the words to change and inspire. That's Nightly News. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm Lester Holt. Please continue to take care of yourself and each other. Today's headlines can be hard to understand.
understand. A lot of kids have questions, so we started a newscast for them. We hope your family will watch nightly news.
So that's half the arms right there. There's my remote. Not gonna let you die here either, because I'm turning the damn channel.
Bob Good has always stood with big corporate special interests. When COVID hit and millions lost their jobs, Bob Good opposed expanding unemployment insurance for all families and loans to small businesses.
Again, I touched the bottom side of the dragon, and it's easier to do it this way also, because you're filling in the lines in a way that it's easier for you to not totally tear it up. Sorry about that. Sorry, I gotta crank this up a bit. Jesus.
The woman who knocked on her neighbor's door. Why police are calling it a plot to kidnap a baby.
Oh wow.
500 kids, one daycare. There you go. And not one case of COVID all summer. It's a miracle. What a
no joke.
Right that we can all learn from. Plus, the bride and groom who canceled their big wedding reception because of the pandemic. Wait till you see what they did with all that food.
Well, I hope they donated it.
Inside Edition with Deborah Norville.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us. The battle against COVID-19 is far from over in this country. 174,000 people have died. But the trend for new cases is starting to slow. Experts say that's thanks to social distancing and masks. So when this ex-Navy SEAL, who's credited with killing Osama bin Laden, bragged about not wearing a mask on a plane, many people were furious. Jim Murray reports.
The hero who killed Osama bin Laden is speaking out about being banned from Delta Airlines for not wearing a mask. Former SEAL Team 6 member Robert O'Neill
and that soldier knows better.
Aboard a Delta flight with the message, "I am not a blank." Delta banned him, but O'Neill remains defiant today, posting, "Thank God it wasn't Delta flying us in when we killed bin Laden. We weren't wearing masks." Not many of the 460,000 bikers who attended the huge motorcycle rally in Sturgis, South Dakota were wearing masks either. And health officials say cases directly linked to the rally are now coming to light. 29 cases have been identified so far.
I don't understand why people just can't take this shit seriously.
To self-quarantine. College parties continue to cause concern across the USA, like this one at the University of Arizona. 500 students at North Carolina State are in quarantine after attending frat parties. Now the college is switching to online classes.
I hope that as college students we could have been responsible enough to maybe keep this from happening.
And check this out. The crowd at a high school football game in Alabama. With pro sports playing in empty stadiums, does this look like a good idea? And in Utah, a high school football game was halted when spectators were ordered to put on their masks and stay farther apart. In Los Angeles, on orders of the mayor, the power has been cut to the mansion where a wild party was held for TikTok stars. That means no air conditioner in the middle of an intense heat wave. Now
Damn.
The dude who provided entertainment for the event is speaking out, and he's not one bit sorry.
At the end of the day, people are going to choose freedom, and that's where we're at. How long is this lockdown going to last? Are we going to roll over and play dead? What's the point of being alive? That's where everybody's at.
What's the point of being alive? Living to be alive a little longer.
Says KXTV meteorologist Tracy Humphrey.
Yesterday we had unhealthy air quality, we had hazardous air quality,
And we have had some of the most unhealthy air quality in the world in the Bay Area.
Over the years, California has had more than its fair share of natural disasters, but this month seems like Armageddon. There's a surge in COVID-19 cases, wildfires
And there's a
running out of
wildfire.
control in the Napa Valley, a heat wave with triple-digit temperatures.
You would think that people would
in Southern
actually grow up and
California,
take this shit
and rolling
seriously.
power outages because utilities can't keep up with demand. There was even an earthquake. A single nightmarish image sums up what the state is going through. This sign outside a California senior center warning everyone to wear masks, engulfed in flames.
What a haunting photo. Other news today, Joseph DeAngelo, the man known as the Golden State Killer, learned his fate today after a week of heartbreaking testimony from his victims. But is the serial killer really as frail as he appears to be in court? Prosecutors are now saying he's faking it.
Is the Golden State Killer
Damn.
faking that frail old man appearance? All this week, we've seen 74-year-old Joseph DeAngelo confined to a wheelchair. He sat disheveled and showed zero emotion as he listened to almost heartbreaking victim impact statements. As woman after
He's a
woman
killer,
bravely
people.
faced
Do y'all
him
really
down.
expect him to show emotion?
Selfish, sadistic, calculating, cruel,
Son of a bitch.
pathetic piece of scum.
Michelle Cruz, whose sister Janelle was slain by DeAngelo in 1986, says his lack of reaction left her frustrated.
Didn't matter what I said, I don't think I got a reaction out of him. We just sat there and stared out.
Now prosecutors say DeAngelo is faking it. Sacramento District Attorney Anne-Marie Schubert says prison video exists showing DeAngelo looking animated and agile.
Somebody said there's a method to his madness. And I think
Well, yeah, he's trying to get a lighter sentence for the women he killed and the men he killed.
This comes as a surprise to DeAngelo's former fiancée, Bonnie Olson, who memorably stared him down in court earlier this week.
I think he's been acting for 60 years.
Today's hearing returned to a ballroom at Cal State Sacramento due to COVID concerns. When participants were asked to bow their heads in memory of his victims, DeAngelo kept staring straight ahead. He finally stood up, removed his mask, and spoke.
Listen, all your statements, each one of them.
Oh, you shouldn't have done it.
Really sorry.
Sorry, you got caught.
He was sentenced to life for his 13-year campaign of 50 rapes and 13 murders.
We adjourned.
DeAngelo's string of crimes began back in 1975 and lasted for 11 years. The Democratic National Convention ended with fireworks instead of the traditional balloon drop, with Joe Biden now officially his party's presidential nominee. In an acceptance speech that emphasized faith, fairness, and compassion, Biden tried to make a case to lead the nation for the next 4 years. Stephen Fabian has more.
Fireworks lit up the night as Joe Biden celebrated the triumphant final night of the convention with passion and purpose.
Okay, so now I gotta go get the big brush.
Speech is winning high praise today from an unexpected source, Fox News.
Joe Biden just hit a home run in the bottom of the ninth.
He didn't meet the expectations. Look at Donald Trump Jr.'s face. He wasn't expecting that.
It was a passionate and personal
Oh, dear.
speech, the strongest remarks yet from Joe Biden's campaign.
ABC News
pen
chief
just fell
congressional
apart. I mean,
correspondent
the
Mary Bruce said
brush.
one highlight was this brave kid. 13-year-old Braden Harrington has a pronounced stutter. He says Joe Biden is helping him overcome it.
We were members of the same club. We
And now for the rest of the dragon.
Braden talking about the personal connection he had with Joe Biden, noting that Biden essentially took him under his wing, coached him along, gave him encouragement. And that's part of the broader political message too, right? Democrats trying to show that Joe Biden is someone who can empathize, that he takes the time to connect with average Americans.
Trump senior advisor Kellyanne Conway was also inspired by Braden. Way to go, Braden, she tweeted. but she wasn't as impressed by Joe Biden.
It took Joe Biden less than 2 minutes last night to lace into Donald Trump. I was a little surprised with that because all week long we heard we want to unify. Good evening, America.
There was plenty of star power. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was the night's MC.
Okay, that was a close one.
Also there, the Chicks, formerly known as the Dixie Chicks, NBA star Steph Curry and his family, and John Legend. Really? Former presidential hopeful Mike Bloomberg's speech was overshadowed by, of all things, a fly that would just not go away. And we learned from Joe Biden's granddaughters that their pop is a secret ice cream addict.
Eating it like in the freezer so that like my grandma doesn't see. He's officially busted. I can tell you from spending a lot of time with Joe Biden out on the campaign trail when we were still able to travel around the country. No one loves ice cream like Joe Biden.
The night ended with a bang as the Democrats.
I just screwed up a little bit. Hopefully it won't be noticeable.
Looking at next week and the Republicans, what do you think they have learned from the Democrats in this process? Because this virtual convention's never been done before.
It will be interesting to see how it differs, what's similar, well, what ideas did they pick up on. In many ways, they probably benefit from being able to see how the Democrats tried to pull this off. It is not an easy thing to do.
President Trump is also asking for fireworks at the Republican National Convention on the National Mall in Washington. He'll be giving his acceptance speech next Thursday night. And President Trump's former chief White House strategist Steve Bannon is free on bond today after being arrested and charged with using funds donated to build a wall on the Mexican border for his own personal benefit. 3 others are also charged, including a triple amputee war veteran. He spoke with his wife, who's got quite a following on social media. Here's Les Trent.
Hi, I'm Brian Colfage. Brian Colfage is an American hero, a triple amputee from the war in Iraq. But now, with Steve Bannon, he's facing charges of fraud after allegedly living a lavish lifestyle from money donated to We Build the Wall.
We lived the way we've lived for many years. This is nothing new.
Ashley is Colfage's wife, and today, she's defending his honor.
I would never think that he would do anything like that to hurt our family, to hurt anybody.
Ashley is a social influencer with 250,000 people following her glamorous life. Recently, she posted this video to TikTok with her Range Rover. Here she is washing the family's fancy golf cart. According to the federal indictment, Brian Colfage is accused of skimming
I'm gonna finish off this dragon and call it a day for the video.
The indictment also says money from the We Build a Wall
the gray part of the
was
dragon.
used to pay for
I'm going to paint the rest of the dragon, but I'm not gonna film it. But when you guys when I get done with it, I'll show you.
Like I can fund that with all the money that I make from the companies that I work for.
Yesterday, the feds seized the family's Range Rover and a 40-foot fishing boat. It was a wild scene outside federal court in Manhattan, but Bannon was released after posting $5 million bail.
Yeah, damn.
Entered a not guilty plea. Now, this loyal wife insists her husband will be proven innocent.
Anyone who actually knows Brian knows that he is honest. He always has, if you give him, if he gives you his word, that is truthful.
Brian Colfage is said to be the most severely wounded airman ever to survive injury in combat. What was seen as a side door entrance to get her kids into college has resulted in a trip through the front door of a federal prison for actress Lori Loughlin. The former Full House star and her husband were sentenced today after pleading guilty to buying their daughter's way into USC.
Lori Loughlin is going to prison. The Full House actress was sentenced today to 2 months behind bars and a $150,000 fine for her role in the college admission scandal. The hearing was held via Zoom. Loughlin was in her lawyer's office in California. The federal judge was in Boston.
Okay, there's Lori.
No photos or video were allowed.
She's wearing a white blouse. She looks very serious. And right now she's listening to the judge. She's sitting next to her attorney.
Her husband, fashion designer Massimo Giannulli, was sentenced to 5 months in prison and a $250,000 fine.
Lori just started to speak. She started to cry. She said that she is truly, profoundly, and deeply sorry, ready to accept the consequences.
Prison consultant Jen Meyer says it's likely Laughlin will end up serving her time at the federal prison in Dublin or Victorville, both located in California.
As we know in Dublin, that is where Felicity Hoffman served her time, and she seemed to really receive a lot out of that. I think it's a pretty, if we want to say, easy place to be. Opposed to Abby Lee Miller, who ended up going to Victorville, and she seemed to get along pretty well there too. It's just that Victorville has a little bit more drama and some violence at first.
Meyer says Lori Loughlin should not expect to get out early.
I think once she goes in, she has a chance of serving close to that 2 months.
Whatever time she serves, Loughlin should expect weeks of isolation from her family due to the pandemic.
Across the board, no matter what federal prison you're in right now, there are no visitors allowed.
Had Laughlin and her husband gone to trial, they face as much as 20 years in prison if convicted.
Next, the woman
Guess they made a good choice.
Why police are calling it a plot to kidnap a baby, and 500 kids, one daycare. There you go. And not one case of COVID all summer.
This position is also killing my back.
That we can all learn from. Plus, the bride and groom who canceled their big wedding reception because of the pandemic. Wait till you see what they did with all that food. Inside Edition with Deborah Norville. We'll be right back.
With moderate to severe ulcerative colitis. Even when I was there, I never knew when my symptoms would keep us apart. So I talked to my doctor about Humira. I learned Humira can help get and keep UC under control when other medications haven't worked well enough. And it helps people achieve control that lasts, so you can experience few or no symptoms.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis, serious, sometimes fatal infections.
Again, when it comes to painting, man, you gotta have really, really steady hands,
serious allergic
which I don't
and new or worsening heart
have.
failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB.
Steady
Tell your doctor if you've been to
hands.
areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B,
Just want to darken up the gray by the wings.
symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you had an infection.
Be there for you and them. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, control is possible.
Did you know that
So hopefully when it dries, they'll be gray and not black.
impact the child's health and well-being? Exposure to mold can cause nasal stuffiness, eye irritation, wheezing, or skin irritation. It can also worsen the effects of asthma.
This is especially important for children and teenagers whose bodies are still developing. Keep your family safe by following Interstate.
There you go.
Interstate offers free mold consultations.
Now you all know who the hell my crush is. So I'm gonna do yellow belly, green ears, and pink wings. And I'm gonna cut another. I don't actually not sure what I want to do with the blades. Also, her suit should be yellow and black. Cause her other suit I didn't draw. I couldn't draw. I couldn't draw to save my life. So we're actually gonna get her suit out of the way first. Then I'm gonna end this.
Cops say it was a bizarre kidnapping attempt after a woman allegedly broke into her neighbor's home and tried to take her 9-month-old baby. Police say minutes before she'd entered a
God
neighbor's
damn it.
home and tried to take a 1-year-old boy. Zamra Cagliano reports the family's doorbell camera captured her entering the home.
You are watching the beginnings of what police are calling a bizarre kidnapping plot. The woman in the Ring camera video is knocking on the front door of her neighbor's house. It is 2 a.m. The location, St. Petersburg, Florida. Remarkably, she is let in after announcing her name, as if this was a friendly, neighborly visit. Once she got inside the house, cops say the woman attempted to snatch a 9-month-old boy out of the arms of his 12-year-old sister. Unfortunately, the child's mother had awakened, and cops say she stopped the kidnapping. The suspect, identified as 28-year-old Hannah Braun, is accused of leaving her 2 children at home while she allegedly tried to kidnap her neighbor's baby. She's charged with attempted kidnapping, burglary, and child abuse.
You already got 2 kids. Why
And
the
get this,
Sam
a
Hill would you
neighbor
try to
says
kidnap?
Braun also tried to kidnap a year-old girl from his house on the same night. Police say Hannah Braun has no previous relationship with either family.
Coming up, what one summer camp is doing to keep kids safe from COVID-19.
Alright, so ZZ had blonde
Now is the
hair
time to focus
at
on
the
what matters most,
tips.
and your health is key to that. Centrum
Give
supports
her
your
some
body with vitamin C and zinc to help
yellow.
maintain your immune system today and into the new tomorrow. Centrum.
With Inside Edition, there's always more to the story.
It's actually more rainbow.
100 feet underground. For more on today's Inside Edition, go to InsideEdition.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
The CBS
Alright, so
19
that'll
Weather
cover that.
Authority.
This storm is going to affect
And we're gonna make these horns.
Chief meteorologist Travis
You know what? We're
Mitchell.
gonna leave them horns the fuck where they are.
radar where there's a severe thunderstorm warning.
Good morning, Charlottesville's meteorologist David Ricks.
Here we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect.
On air, online, and
So
on
while
the
I'm
road.
messing with the yellow,
CBS 19 Weather Authority app and the news app streaming us online.
The CBS 19 Weather Authority.
Got out of the military last
put her
year.
entire name at the
Doing
bottom of
work in
yellow.
the construction industry. AJ Dillon was a perfect fit. It's a big family company. There's a lot of people here. A lot of good people.
I'm gonna give her yellow bellies and yellow wings. Well, yeah, maybe pink wings. Yeah, pink wings.
You don't have to have any kind of training. When you come here with training, the benefits are great. The money's good.
If you want to come and do big things and work in a family atmosphere, come to work at AG Dillon.
Come out, wherever you are.
In case y'all missed
Got
it,
new
yellow
Mountain
and
Dew
gray
Zero Sugar.
are 2 of my
Same
favorite
refreshing
colors.
taste as the original.
More yellow than gray. Don't tell anybody.
Here's Mountain Dew Zero.
I am thirsty.
We're gonna make her name yellow and green.
When it comes to
Put
your
all of
countertop,
this down here.
you want it to stand out, last long, and complement the rest of your home. At Albemarle Countertop Company, we work with you to design and create the perfect countertops for your home. Come see our incredible selection of materials.
Just to match
such
the
as
dragon's
granite,
belly.
local alkaline soapstone, and quartz. We're sure you'll find the perfect stone for your project. Call to set up an appointment, or feel free to stop by our showroom during business hours. Albemarle Countertop Company on Hydraulic Road in Charlottesville.
The Summer of Savings event is still going at your local Ford store, but it won't last long. Find the hottest deals on great Ford vehicles with available Waze, Wi-Fi, hybrid technology, head-up display, and more. Summer is short. Enjoy the savings. And now get 0% for 72 months across the Ford SUV lineup. Or choose 4,500 total.
I'll probably change my mind like 4 or 5 times before this is
I'm doing
done.
this for my daughter who has asthma. I'm doing it for my grandma.
There are people who depend on me to keep them safe. Wear a mask, no matter who you do it for. Every Virginian has to do their part to make it safe.
About those summer camps where kids have gotten COVID-19. Well, here's a place that's been doing it right. They've hosted at least 500 kids and not had a single case of COVID.
This summer camp is definitely doing something right. 500 campers and 200 staffers have been doing all sorts of activities for almost 2 months. And not one has tested positive for COVID-19.
It's nothing short of a miracle.
Mark Transport is the co-owner of Crestwood Country Day Camp on Long Island, New York.
Every single camper and counselor was tested for COVID before they came to camp. We temperature check every camper and staff member before they come to camp.
The kids don't wear masks, but counselors do. Who wants to go swimming? In the pool, it's protective visors. Special disinfecting patrols roam the camp, cleaning and mopping. And the kids routinely line up to get their hands washed and disinfected.
Why do we clean our hands? Because of germs.
Parties are strictly forbidden for the college-age counselors.
If they were to go to a party and we find out about it, then they're going to be fired.
You have to keep the kids safe and you have to keep the other counselors safe, so going to a party is probably not the best thing to do right now.
It's something we all wish for. A COVID-free summer.
We've done everything humanly possible to make that miracle happen.
Music for you.
When we come back, how COVID-19 enabled some newlyweds to share their joy. Still fresh.
It's like, oh, my lights on. Nope, my lights aren't on.
Unstoppable. In-wash scent booster.
Downy Unstoppables. Does cleansing drain the life out of your skin? Try Garnier Micellar Water Rose with rose water and micelles that work like a magnet to gently cleanse and remove oils and makeup. And now even hydrate skin. It's cleansing reinvented. Micellar Waters by Garnier, naturally. Here's to the doers. To all the people who realize they can do more with less asthma. Thanks to Dupixent, the add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. Dupixent isn't for sudden breathing problems. It can improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks and help prevent severe asthma attacks. It's not a steroid, but can help reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Dupixent can cause serious allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis. Get help right away if you have rash, shortness of breath, chest pain, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection. And don't change or stop your asthma treatments, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Are you ready to do more with less asthma? Talk to your asthma specialist about Dupixent. If your financial situation has changed, we may be able to help.
Still to come, making others happy on the happiest day of their lives.
Travel consideration provided by...
Puberty means personal space.
Yeah, for the record, no one ever told me how much work it takes into going, like, all-out painting. Literally, this is taking fucking forever. Yeah.
Finally, something more powerful than the
Pardon my French. I didn't actually mean to use that F-bomb. Just a little bit of frustration going on in here. A whole lot of anger on my end.
Stay tuned. There's more Inside Edition to come.
Mostly because I went out of the lines.
Welcome to Court Hotel. Our bright and cheery lobby is a living room for the city. The lobby bar offers playful classic cocktails. Point Cafe serves a unique specialty coffee, breakfast and
Okay, so you guys need to know two things. One, drawing and painting take a lot of damn talent. And so does inking. So if you don't know how to ink, there could be a little bit of an issue there. Which is probably another reason why I couldn't get a job at Marvel, because I don't know how to ink. But I know how to draw a little bit, you know. So if I was the artist and they had another person inking, it would probably have worked out a whole lot better. But since that's not really my passion, it's not really something I would really want to consider to continue trying to look into. I mean, that ship sailed. Pretty much like my acting career ship has sailed, but that's like the one thing that I don't ever really want to give up on. Because what if the ends actually succeed the reward? But what if the reward succeeds all of the stuff that I'm going through to get what I want done?
A groom in his perfect tux, serving food at a homeless shelter? Like so many young couples getting married, due to the pandemic, Melanie and Tyler Tapina had to cancel their big wedding reception with all those guests. They decided to carry on with their I-dos in a scaled-down ceremony in her grandparents' backyard. And then they gave back.
Our biggest hope with all of this is just to spread the love.
They brought all the catered food intended for their wedding guests to the City Mission in Cleveland, Ohio, a homeless shelter for women and children.
We loved every second. Great way to start a marriage. That's Inside Edition for today.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
Deborah Norville. Thank you for watching. Stay
God
safe.
bless them,
and
man.
We'll see you next time.
So FYI, I'm painting that whole bottom thing mostly yellow so that you can see it clearly and read it. And if by the grace of God, Zeta gets to see it,
We have ASC certified
you know,
technicians.
that would be
We are
great.
Virginia State Inspection Station, and we are well known throughout the community and surrounding counties.
We want to be your hometown choice for all your automotive services and repairs.
And all of you, if you're gonna dream big, man. Yeah, I know Zeta's a big dream. And sometimes dreams do come true. You just gotta pray and work.
Nothing can keep us apart.
I've been doing both. Praying and working. And dealing with other people's problems. Or lack of responsibility.
Upgrade to fair.
As you can hear in the background.
It's almost summer, which means it's time to let the kids play out.
If I hit the lottery tomorrow, that would be like the best birthday present ever. Or if like Publishers Clearinghouse actually took my application and gave me a check like on Sunday, that would be like totally freaking awesome. It's not gonna happen. In fact, I'm just gonna paint her whole name yellow, and the double Z will be yellow too, because it's gonna just save me a fuck ton of time. Since I'm gonna make her wings pink. And I'm gonna turn that to old school Jeopardy.
I don't think any of us expected all of that.
We're inside her sentencing in the college scam scandal. Then, listen. University from Parker, Colorado, Natalie Hathcote. And a senior at Indiana University from Greenfield, Indiana.
Yeah, I don't know who won yesterday. The college tournament.
Here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Rivette.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Alright, so I'm going to stop recording at this
Just
point.
30 minutes from now, we will know the names of the 9 players who will return to our program next week to compete in the semifinals. One of these 3 will definitely be part of that list. Nabir, Natalie, and Tyler. Good luck.
So,
here we
thanks
go.
for watching, guys.
Jeopardy round.
This is Comfort Havoc number 2. Be safe.